that sound means we are here live with another edition of Trade Masters. Now, Trade Masters is quickly becoming my third favorite hour of the week, my work week. I love it. We have two traders come into the ring. One emerges. This is gladiator style. No matter how noble the loser is, they still have to leave defeated. Only one per two enter, one leave. Trade Masters. There have been a ton of great picks in recent weeks. A ton of great picks. The purpose of this show, besides declaring a victory, is to give you guys trade ideas out there. Now, these trade ideas can be credit spreads. They can be directional trades, swing trades. They can be investment ideas. They can be naked puts. They can be all kinds of things. And tonight we have certified technician Tyler Craig. How are you doing tonight, Tyler?
I'm feeling certified. Mark, happy to be here again. This is like the third or fourth week in a row.
Yeah, it is. And a first time on Trade Masters, Cody Mackey. And this is going to be the special dad joke. So what I want you to do tonight, we're going to get started here in 20 seconds after Cody says how he's doing. I want you to give me a trade idea, and I want you to give me a dad joke. One at a time.
Fantastic.
And we're going to go back and forth between that.
I'm glad to be able to join the show. Obviously, with the time difference in Hawaii, normally when this show is on, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Hawaii. So I'm still working my 9 to 5 at working in the lab. So I'm very happy to be in Texas right now and able to join this show so I can take Tyler down, especially with dad jokes.
All right. Well, hey, let's get going. Cody, as the first timer, you get to go first. What trade idea do you got for me tonight?
Oh, trade idea. Well, as I was kind of saying before we got on, I got a few different ones. So I got some really good trade setups. I got some bottom fishing setups. And then I even managed to find in this market 2 bearish setups.
All right, you're twirling your swords. I get it. You got your weapons wielding in the gladiator arena. Give me some action. Take a swing.
We'll start with one that I love, and that's J&J. And you can see J&J started breaking out today, but what I really love about this particular level that's breaking out is this is a long.
Give me a weekly pattern on this bad boy.
Absolutely. This is a multiple year resistance level 3 years back that it was not able to get above. So we are breaking to all-time highs on J&J out of a 3-year or 2-year consolidation at this level. And I love the idea of having J&J break out at this level.
How would you play it?
J&J personally, I wouldn't even do anything fancy. I would go straight stock with J&J. I love taking out of Greg Holmes' book, Old Money Homes. Love the fact they have the dividend. They have staples. So I talk all the time about how I don't deal in pharmaceutical companies or things like that. J&J does develop pharmaceuticals, but that's not why I play them, because I'm not looking for that next beautiful pop or beautiful drug or whatever come out. I love that they have the staples that keep them going every single year, which is why they have a dividend. And they just are such a powerhouse in what they do. So I wouldn't do anything fancy. This is breaking. You could play it above today's high with the stop just below today's candle, which would be a very nice risk to reward ratio. If this thing does continue on, I think you can go 160 target 1 and then pass that for target 2. Just straight stock, nothing fancy. If this is a little expensive, you could always do a bear call spread on this. I personally would just do straight stock.
You mean a bull call spread?
Bull call spread. What did I say? I said bear. Bull call spread on this. So you could do a bull call spread if you just want that direction. But as far as a stock that I'm willing to own at these levels with the dividend moving to higher levels, I would do a straight stock play on this.
Well, me loves me some multi-month consolidation breakout. So that is a very strong. Hey, Tyler, that wasn't just a flesh wound. He cut you deep on that one, right? So not just a flesh wound there. I mean, you're a pro, but that's a good way to start. That is a beautiful pattern. I love multi-month consolidation patterns. Would you wait for my final question? Would you wait for confirmation? Where's your entry point tomorrow? Above the candle high?
I would say above today's candle high. And if you could even if that old question, to wick or not to wick. So today's candle high was at 56.38 and the previous high was at 57. So you could put your trigger right above 57 if you want to wick. If not, I would go just 10% ATR above today's candle high, which would be about 56.80 or so, 56.90.
Very nice opening move, Cody. Very nice opening move. All right, Tyler, listen, he swung deep. You're up next.
Dividend on this, I just want to look, 2.6%. That's not bad. I'm putting J&J on my list. All right, that was a good one. Good job, Cody.
All right.
I don't mind that one at all. Okay, question. Are we doing dad joke right after the
Oh,
pick?
yeah, I need your dad joke, Cody. Thank you, Tyler.
Oh, okay. Let's see which one I want to start with. I'm going to start with why did the new trader quit when the market turned red?
Why did the new trader quit when the market turned red?
He couldn't bear it.
I like the J&J pick a lot better. Tyler, you're up next.
All right, let's start with some semiconductors.
I like it better here than more adults on me.
I'm gonna start with semiconductors, Mark.
No, it was good. He couldn't bear it.
That was good. Did you, let me ask you this though. Did you come up with that yourself?
That one I came up with myself.
Hey,
I got a few that I did steal, but that one I came up with myself.
I'm digging that one. All right, semiconductors. SMH. This has been a growth engine for technology the entire year long. NVIDIA, AMD, AMAT, Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM. They all been great. These have paused for the last couple of weeks. I like the little symmetrical triangle pattern going here. And I like how it's waking up a little bit today. All right. So I was like, okay, let's look at semiconductors. What are my favorite semiconductors? I like that I'm not chasing this sector. I like that it has paused for a little bit. I like this pullback in AMD. I think I may have talked about AMD last time, but I like it again. Yes, it's pulled back below the 20 MA, but it is holding prior support. I think if you get rotation back into semiconductors, AMD is going to go higher. I also think you have a decent trigger point over the 20-day moving average, which is essentially the high of this week. So if I go to a weekly chart, you're going to see you've got a fairly clean entry over this week's high. It's also sitting on the 9-week EMA, which I know my buddy Mark likes. So I like the pullback. Now, in thinking about the strategy, which option strategy I'd like, Mark, the volatility on this is kind of low. I already got credit spreads on it. I'm thinking, you could do a bull put, but you probably got to go a little bit closer. So what I'd like to do here is I'm going to do a debit spread, take advantage of the low IV, but I'm going to set it up where I'm not requiring AMD to go up a lot. Like I'm thinking that I'll just buy the 90 strike call out to February. I'm going to buy a Feb 90 call. I'm going to sell a Feb 95 call. And I'm going to have a decent amount of upside. And I'm basically going to be sitting right around the break-even point. And so I'm going to set this up where it's still positive theta, or at least very close to being positive theta, so that if it takes its time, just going sideways, I'm still kind of getting paid to a certain extent. But if it does go up, I got a little more upside than if I were to do a bull put spread. So if I run the numbers on that, I'm going to buy just a slightly in the money 90 call, and then I'm going to sell that 95. I'm paying 223. That puts my break even at 92.23, which is essentially the current price. So I'm already at my break even. But if this thing goes up, I can double my money if it gets above 95.
So it's a nice even money bet.
Nice 1-to-1 risk reward. But I think the chart puts the odds in my favor. And if it implodes, I don't take a big hit like I would have if I tried to force a credit spread here with low IV.
I like that a lot. I like that even money bet. I like how it held support here, right? I like how it's sitting on the 9 weekly. I like how it's paused. Entry point. So what would your trigger into the trade be?
I think you got two triggers. I think if you're Mark, you probably wanted to take out the 20 MA because that's how you roll, maybe 93.30 or so. I personally don't mind taking today's high as the trigger. It would be one of those two.
No, I really like that trade. That was I love the J&J. I mean, this is a really, really solid trade. And I love it when things take a pause. Things that are hot that take a little bit of pause. Any concern with any macro things at all? Straight technical read here.
That's a cute question, Mark. The answer
Well, I
is
know.
no.
But yeah, that's what I thought. Listen, I gave you a softball. All right, listen, that's a solid. Hey Cody, he came slashing back. I love your J&J, but he came it was like, all right, that was a good swing back. I like it. Really, really solid. Definitely. I mean, anybody's game at this point.
Wait for my joke.
I need your.
Yeah, I was
dad
about to say,
joke,
make me laugh.
Cody, the average person is really mean.
How mean are they?
That was the joke.
The average person.
Average person is really mean. Got it. Got it. That was good.
Hey, my jokes make you think. My jokes make you think.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. All right. Round one on the dad joke goes to Tyler. Cody, all right, you're next up with your trade. Let's get to work. We only got about 30 minutes left. We only got about 30 minutes left.
We got to get going then. I'm going to stick with some of my more beautiful patterns then after Tyler comes out with the AMD, which I knew he was going to come at me with that because he let it slip in the halftime report. So I got to come back strong. I'm going to go with Chegg, CHGG. It has a beautiful, my favorite pattern, a breakout retracement. And again, this thing with an easy target up to $100 on the break of 90, pulled up to 95, came back down. We're now on a green candle today. Nice, easy, clean trigger, target to $100. You could play this a few different ways. Volatility is not too high. You could do a long call on this, or you could do a straight stop on this. I love this pattern. It's simple. It's clean. Target $100.
All right. So my concern here is like when I have a breakout pullback, I like it to come down to the breakout point and hold. Where do you judge the breakout point to be? Are you discounting the wick actions?
And that is where the debate is, to wick or not to wick. So I think the wicks were failed breakouts is the way I see those. So I see those as failed breaks. And then we got the clean break last week. And now we have the pullback coming into it. And it doesn't seem to be wanting to get below $90, even though it tried yesterday. It immediately gapped up in aftermarket action, telling me that there is faith that this is not deserving to be underneath $90. And I think that the trigger point on this would probably, I agree with you. If we got a doji tomorrow and then the trigger came Monday, this would make it an even more beautiful chart. If you wanted to try to trigger tomorrow, which I usually don't take triggers at the second half of the week, I could go above today's high. But I agree with you. If we got one more day of just a little doji sitting right about 90, it would make this even more beautiful.
What are you concerned about the run up? Because I mean that was a massive percentage
It was
run
a massive run up.
Like I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
it does, except that you look at what it did on its last run up. Its previous run up was when it got rejected. This run up, it did not get rejected. It did have two dojis and then continued. So if this were a very choppy chart and then had a huge run like that, yes. But it had that big run first before it then pulled back. And I'm not saying we're targeting anything crazy because I mean, what was that run from 70 to 95? So we're looking at a $25 run. I'm not saying we take it from 90 up to 115. I'm seeing just a clean, easy entry and the risk reward because that stop would be just below 90. So you'd have a entry probably around 91 above today's candle high. I'm not sure exactly what today's candle high is exactly, or depending on what the doji looks like tomorrow. So an entry into this stock, 92. So 92. So let's say we go below 91 or 90 with our stop, and we go above $92 for our entry, and we're targeting 100. That's a 4-to-1 reward to risk ratio. An $8 move on a $2.
How would you play it?
Hey, I'm simple. I mean, Tyler's got all the fancy stuff with, the different spreads and things. I do my spreads for my cash flow, but if I'm doing delta, I'm boring. I'm either long call or I'm straight stock. If I do a long call on something like this, I always like to do the Noah method where you buy 2 or 3 calls, and then when it moves up to that $100,
we go check out the option chain. for me.
Yes, sir.
Let's go look at those Februaries, because at a minimum, I mean,
Oh, I'd go further than that. I would, and that's because I hate negative data. Absolutely despise negative data. I would go probably out to the Marches, and then
there
from the
aren't
March
Marches.
oh, there's not a March. Wow, February or April, excuse me. Okay, that makes it a little bit more difficult then. All right, go back to the Februarys. Let's see what those look like. Because even a long call, if you need to buy 2 or 3 at $800 a call, it's a little expensive. I mean, you could still do that here at the February, but you got theta working against you. But if it were to move and let's say go up to that 100 being within the money at that point or even close to it, sell that out, spread it out, make it a zero risk trade, and then let it run after that.
Yeah, I get what you're seeing. It's a little, that run up really concerns me. I mean, it's a textbook company, right? Where's the, I don't know, man. You just textbooks forever, right?
Yep. No, I got you.
The previous two I loved so much. I loved them. I'm gonna have to dwell on this one. Let me dwell on your dad joke.
Oh, my dad joke right now. I'll use an old one. How do you know someone trades Bitcoin? They tell you.
That was good. That one was good.
You know, at Thanksgiving dinner, my mom was like, I own Bitcoin.
Really?
She does.
Wow.
She owns
Did she
Bitcoin.
buy recently, or did she buy like 4 or 5 years ago?
Months. Hey, listen, there's been some nice trading signal. Got to get Mama Justice on the Bitcoin bandwagon.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, Tyler, you're up next. I love that dad joke though.
All right. Look, Mark, let's go back to gold, shall we? I'm going to show you how to make some money on gold here. We talked about this in the halftime report. Gold is firming up. I really like how it's holding firm above the 50-day moving average. Always a chance this break above the 50 fails like the last one, but so far it's constructive. So I want to do something with GLD. And quite frankly, Mark, I'm still nursing a position back from November that I'm making money back on finally. And I'm still looking to get in something more. So I like the breakout pattern here. Technically speaking, it's doing everything right. So
you're add to existing. I mean, because like a lot of us at Tackle Trading own gold. If you haven't been a member of Tackle Trading, we've been pounding this gold bandwagon for 2 straight years. One of many reasons to become a member of Tackle Trading. Check out the 15-day trial on the store tab at tackletrading.com. All right, so adding to existing position. I got existing position. I'm not afraid to add some more. Talk me into it.
So here's what I like. I like the fact the technicals speak for themselves. We talked about in the halftime report. It's bullish. It's looking to recover here. You've got a bullish narrative with all the stimulus and money printing and blah, blah, blah. On the option side, they're cheap. Implied volatility rank is low. And so I'm thinking a call spread. And there's 2 reasons why I like a call spread. Number one, I like buying the call because it's cheap. But the thing that you'll notice with gold options is the volatility gets higher the further out of the money you go on the call side. So implied volatility tells you whether an option's cheap or expensive. And sometimes there's a skew between different strike prices. And you'll note, Mark, that these upside calls trade at a higher implied volatility than the at the money calls. So I'm going to buy a call that's trading relatively cheaper and sell a call against it that's trading relatively expensive. I'm going to go out a few months in time to give myself time because gold sometimes moves slowly. But I think something as simple as like buying, a 178 call, getting about a 50 delta, and then maybe going out and selling like a 190 call against it, a 25 delta. Your net delta is 25. You're getting a $12 spread here. You're paying $3.50. The risk is small. The potential reward is quite large. I think this thing could go to 190 by March. It was up at 195 in August. 190, I don't think is unrealistic over 3 months. That's my trade. Bull call, vertical gold.
Any consideration to longer months, like going a little further out in time?
Yeah. I mean, like,
I look at. So my cost on that would be 363.
Mm-hmm.
So what would, like, if I went out?
You want to do June?
Yeah, let's do June. Let's just June or July. Pick one of the 2.
Sure. I mean, let's go July. You give you a compare contrast. So July doesn't have the same strike. So you probably go 180, 190 in July. That's gonna be a little bit cheaper because you're going a little bit further out of the money, but 325, 180, 190.
So, I'm getting, somewhere in the realm of
Risking
spend
3 to
three.
make 6.
So I have a, all right. So what's my signal?
Your signal is breaking out of this base. Your signal is breaking today's high, quite frankly. Or you want to use the wick, you could do that.
You could wick that with today's high.
You could wick. Since the wicks are so close.
Yep. I would wick.
I would wick too.
You also have this gap area back here. I know that there's a lot of gaps, but that was the pivot high from back here as well. So there's multiple reasons why this is 178
that's a good signal,
significant.
right? And it just feels it feels like something's building. You've been seeing it in mining charts lately. You've been seeing it. It just every once in a while. I mean, it's a beautiful technical pattern, but it feels like precious metals. I mean, silver's been starting to break out a little bit. I can see some directional moves. I'm normally a cash flow trader, but I like the potential directional play on here. Yeah, quite a bit. Tyler, what you've just done with your last couple picks, Cody came out strong. He had his dual axis, right? And he, give you that really deep cut on J&J. And then what you did as a seasoned pro? It's like that line in the movie where you said, all right, my turn. And you came back strong. My turn. All right, give me a dad joke. Love it. Love it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. Do you know how to get a farm girl to marry you?
Boy, this could go a lot of different ways. How?
Okay, first, a tractor.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
I know you didn't come up with that on your own, but it is funny nonetheless. All right, Cody, listen. Tyler's he's come back at you strong. 2 great picks.
Oh, those are good picks. And I can't
really good, solid
argue with
analysis.
any of those. All right, trying to decide whether I want to do my bear pick or if I want to do one of my bottom fishing picks. Let's try the bear because I really think that there is some potential in this bear, and I think the targets are pretty easy. Give me KMB. So KMB, I'm seeing a head and shoulders with a bear flag already forming, and the targets that would be very easy on this would be 130, and then if you got to the weekly, you see the 200 weekly is right around 125. So I see it just as a quick, easy, very noticeable pattern of that head and shoulders beneath the 200 period moving average, beneath all the moving averages, with the bear flag adding to addition right at the neckline of that head and shoulders pattern. And there aren't many bears out there in the market. And I do like being able to have at least 1 or 2 bears if we ever get some hiccups or some craziness that my bears can play. And if they don't play, then they don't trigger and I don't lose any money. So I like this as a bear pick with 2 easy targets. And on this guy, honestly, I mean, implied volatility is really low. You could do a simple straight put with it, nothing fancy. And I think it would easily, when that move happens, become a nice little trade.
So talk to me about triggers and targets and.
Well, Tyler's so nice and generous that he helps out with the lines and the patterns and charts that you're seeing. Oh my God, Tyler's such a nice guy. Because we already had the move, so the original trigger would have been below yesterday's doji. So today was actually the confirmation candle. So if you were to get into this, then I would use the candle as the entry, just below today's candle to see if it continues on the pattern that we already have. Get that run down. The stop, I would go probably still either above today's candle or depending on what the intraday looks like on yesterday's doji, because that's a long wick on the doji. I don't know if there's anything in between that I could have put something in there. Let's see what that looks like intraday. So I mean, yeah, that wick was just a long run up. So probably go above 135 just because that was rejected so fast. So I'd have my stop there, entry below today's low. So again, we have a $2 risk on if it were to run to that T1. So we're looking at what, 3 to 1, 2 to 1 there. No, it's about 1.5 to 1. And if we can get down to 125 at T2, we have a greater risk to reward ratio. And that's another longer, harder support level that if it breaks, you don't really see much support afterwards. So I think that if it were to continue with this pattern and break past 130, I think it'd be a very quick trip down to that 125 where that weekly moving average is.
T2, if you do this, T2 should be 126.50 or 126.60. That's where the 200 weekly is, FYI, for anybody. Listen, there's nothing there, right? I mean, so convince me, because, you know, Papa Mark here doesn't do very many bear trades until Jerome Powell gives me, until Jerome Powell tells me it's okay to do that. You know, convince me why to have a bearish trade in my portfolio or two.
The reason you should have a bearish trade in your portfolio or two is based on beta weighting your delta of your overall portfolio. If you have 100% bullish trades, then that's when any type of slight pullback or gust just destroys you, and you take a big hit on those days if you're 100% bullish, which is also why you should always have some cash flow, some neutral strategies. But if you need to offset that beta weighted delta a little bit more, that's where those bearish trades come in. If they don't continue, then it doesn't affect your overall delta at all. But if it does trigger, then now you got that downward profit that we're having coming from that.
I mean,
so
it has been right.
Overall,
my girlfriend, the 9 there, I mean, it has, every time it's came up, it's got slapped down. So there's no strength here. I mean, I get it, right? I get it. I mean, it's just, listen, the technicals are there. The targets make sense. Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah, look, it's hard to find bear setups. As far as bear patterns go, you know, this one's pretty good. It's been in a sell the rally mode for a while. I think you play the trend. Look, if I'm looking for a bearish type of setup, I don't mind this one at all.
Fair enough. All right. It's solid. It's solid.
If you're looking for a bearish trade, here you go.
Dad joke.
Oh, my dad joke. How do you know if you're overweight? Well, if you go on a diet and McDonald's turns bearish, then you were overweight.
If you go on a diet and McDonald's
Tyler's laughing.
turns bearish, you're overweight. So are you saying you represent such a large percentage of the McDonald's sales?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a dad joke. That's a quintessential dad joke.
All right, Tyler, bring your weapon. Do battle.
I'm still laughing about McDonald's. Look, the kid brought a bear pick. I'll do a bear pick. Baba, look, this thing, I know it's had a stink about it. It's been in the news a little bit, had some bad news. You got to bounce back in Baba here, Mark. It's popped back from 212 up to today's high was 243. Quick $30 rally in a downtrend. Kissing the 9 EMA. It's got every moving average above it. There is some potential news risk, but I feel like I can go pretty far out of the money and sell a bear call spread for a decent credit if I want to have, you know, a little bit of bearish leaning cash flow trade in my portfolio. I was looking at selling the 280 call for February, buying the 285. Trigger would be if we roll over tomorrow. Got to break today's low and show that this is a bearish reversal candle. So you have some intraday, but I'd like to see us take out yesterday's low or today's low and reverse lower. And quite frankly, I even like this if it comes up a couple more bars. I like it as long as it doesn't get above 250 as a bear retracement play. But that Feb 280, 285 bear call, it's got a pretty decent little credit. Your delta is also relatively low. You're selling a 17 delta, 280, 285, 56 cents credit. So you're getting about a 12, 13% return. If I had to do a bear trade in this environment, it'd be something like that.
I like it. No, I like that a lot.
No, and go to, to give this thing some more credence. Now, there is news risk, right, on stuff like this, but there's also news risk. It just goes down and makes it an easy trade. We go to weekly chart. One of the other things, when I do an out of the money credit spread, one of the things that I look for is I look for layers of moving averages that can help suppress price. because moving averages will act as support on the way up, but they'll also act as on resistance on the way down. And so I like to have as many things working for my trade as humanly possible. And so the more layers of resistance I have, we have the old breakout point. Old support could act as new resistance. I also, I have the 50 weekly that's got to get through, and then a falling 9, and then that 20, which is sloping down. That's a lot of stuff to try to get through in a time period like this. And so when I do those out of the money bull call spreads, do I have an old support area that can act as new resistance? That's a yes. Do I have multiple moving averages on the weekly chart? That's a yes. I mean, can it just power its way through? Sure, I guess, right? But I love the trade. Absolutely love it. Stop loss management techniques. Let's say, where do you call her good and take a loss if you get too much frothy upward movement?
I think you got two choices. I would not go any tighter than the prior pivot high. I think I want the daily chart to reverse into an uptrend before I cry uncle and say, okay, fine, I was wrong. Even if this popped up to the 20 MA, the downtrend is still intact. Even if it pushed a little bit below above the 20 MA, the downtrend is still intact. This takes out 265, and it's technically not in a daily downtrend. So I'd either use 265 mark, or I'd use 280, the short strike. It'd be one of those two for me.
I really like the trade. I'm sorry, I do. I like playing that. And where do you trigger in? Do you wait for it to clear today's low and give you that extra little bit of, or
well, look, if we open strong tomorrow, I don't want to pull the trigger right off the bat at the opens. So yes, I want some indication tomorrow that it's continuing in the vein of today's down move, whether you use today's low, or maybe we form a 5-minute downtrend tomorrow and you can get in before today's low. One or the other. I don't want to get in this thing if we open higher and rip higher tomorrow. So.
All right. I really like it.
I agree with that.
I really like it. Listen, Cody, it's no disrespect. You are against.
He's killing me.
He's just, sometimes you can be good, but your opponent's just better right now, right? Listen, it's not over yet, though. It's not over yet, but
I feel like Hector in the movie Troy, where he was the greatest warrior there.
That is a great analogy, Hector. Listen.
But when you're going up against
Achilles, man, you can be the best Troy. You can be the best of Troy, and that is not as good as Achilles. So listen, I want to hear dad joke there, Tyler.
So my girlfriend said I can't even do this without laughing. Look, okay, I'm like the newbie on telling jokes, okay? I straight faced, I'll pitch you stocks all day long. You make me read these hilarious jokes and I just can't handle it. Mm-hmm. This is hard for me, Mark.
This joke better be really good. That's all.
It is probably not even giving me that good. Anyways, my girlfriend said she'll leave me if I don't support Trump. I said, okay, bye, Dan. Right?
Biden. That was good.
Listen, it's nice to bring a little politics without having to have, go at each other's throats, right? All right, Cody, listen.
That was good.
Tyler has brought out the weapons. You've been bloodied, but you're not dead yet. Listen, you got a strong Johnson & Johnson that you lead that I love.
Yeah. All right, this one, Mark, I saw it and I was like, this is a Mark type play. So it's a little bit taboo in the fact that it's a newer IPO stock, but that's
a Mark type play too.
That's what I'm saying. That's a Mark type play. This is GOCO. And what I'm seeing on this chart is a double bottom off $10. And now it's starting to consolidate to possibly move upward. It's got high volatility, so there are two different ways you can play this. You can sell those puts 51 days out, pick up your lunch money, quick $20, $30, depending on where you get filled, down at $10, which was their double bottom low. So I thought this was a nice Mark style bottom fishing pick. And I think that as a low stock, cheap price, it was really easy just to get into this, however you want to play it. But as a quick, sell a put down there at $10, 51 days out, easy play.
So what's the play?
I would sell some puts down there. So cut that mid price, pick up your $20. You got your lunch money.
Any consideration to the 1250s? Pick up some dinner money?
You could absolutely do the 1250s.
Give me that chart again.
It just depends. And I said $10 mainly because you always
I've
like
been doing
to
a
sell a little
lot
bit
of
further
these
out.
type plays. So, because I've been doing these kind of plays. These have been some of my favorite plays. So you're speaking my book here. I love the support at $10, right?
Yep.
And so what? We had a nice bounce. We've had a couple bounces off 10, right? We had the bounce right before earnings in November. Then earnings got it. You had the bounce strong, where all kinds of nonsense has been going strong over the last month, right? It's just been a crazy. The underbelly of the market's been killing.
Now I got a bull flag on it with.
What do you think about the technical pattern, Tyler?
Look, double bottom, breakout, retest the breakout, bullish reversal candle. This might be his best technical setup. Look, well, here's the thing. I like J&J better because it's J&J and not some who the heck knows what these guys
Random
do. But in
health,
technical perspective, Mark, it's a pretty good turnaround as far as bottoming patterns go.
No, it really is pretty. And the thing, about the thing, I have to investigate them. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. Like I need another garbage stock on my watch list, but I'll gladly take one. I love it when I sell a naked put on something. I gotta see if I gotta believe them in them a little bit. And I got a support level underneath, right? I mean, that's just like my naked put selling 101. So I love that you've brought this to my attention. The 10 would be the conservative play. Pick up some lunch money. I like that as a, but I'd invest. I mean, once again, word of caution, I always say investigate the company to see if you'd actually want to own it, because you never know. Sometimes on naked puts, eventually you will. And so I love it though. I love it that you brought it to my attention. I love the technical pattern. Is there a directional play here?
I mean, as far as reversals go, if you're going to bottom fish a reversal, then I would say yes. But yeah, let's ask Tyler. He's the expert.
I don't know about that, but directional play stock wise, yeah, it's cheap enough where I don't know that I would fiddle with an option trade, but yeah, a little swing trade, buy it over today's high, stop the low, and hope that it doesn't chop around and gives you a clean up move. I don't mind it. I
mean, the extra benefit that it has. I mean, if you go to a weekly chart, that 20 weekly has started to appear on the chart. And, it's downsloping, which I don't like, but you came up, tested it on that first week. That's normal. Yeah. Broke through, came down and testing it again. That doesn't mean it's going to hold for 5, 6. How many weeks do we got till February option expiration? 7?
Yeah.
I think it's 7 in a day.
7. Mm-hmm.
7 in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's no indication, but it is technically cohesive. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look at. I mean, A+ for bringing it to my attention. I like these kind of patterns a lot. I like them a lot. So, thank you.
Joke. Give us the joke.
Am I mute? No, I'm not. All right. Why is a stock market crash worse than a divorce? Because you still lose half your money, but your wife's still there. And I love my wife, by the way. I love my wife, but I saw that one and I did steal that one. I was like, oh, that's good.
It's not a dad joke.
Sorry.
I don't know if I'd put that in I put that. Listen, I got dark humor. I love dark humor, so I thought that was hilarious. I've also been divorced twice, which makes it even funnier to me. So, but like, I don't know if I'd call that a dad joke.
All right.
Okay, that's a make your kid cry joke.
Then let me ask you this: when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
That was good.
Oh, nice follow up. Woo, Cody. All right, Tyler, you're up.
All right. I've been distracted. Let's see what I want to do. Let's go with. We did a bear last time. Let's go with. I'm going to do a stock trade, Mark.
All right.
I'm going to do a little small cap gold mining stock for you. CDE. I love the momentum. So if GLD is a little too boring for you and you need to spice up a gold exposure play, CME or CDE core mining, which I don't know if that's Coeur d'Alene or that's just random, but I love the breakout here, Mark, with a ton of volume. I like the pullback with decreasing volume, and I love today's bullish reversal candle. If this takes out today's high, I'd probably stop bar low or maybe the pivot low. I like this chart. I like the strength coming into year end here. I don't even know what the weekly looks like. I was so confident in the daily, I didn't even look at the weekly. But let's take a look at it real quick, actually. Weekly. Yeah, look, you got room to like 13 bucks.
No, I still like that weekly. It's
12 bucks. Yeah, I just love the volume coming in. I think gold's in fuego right now. And, you know, what is that? 20%, 15%. You got $1.50 on of upside. 12 bucks is my, probably my T1. Maybe 11.40 my T1, 12 plus my T2.
Would you wait now? Okay, $1 million question. Do you wait for the gold breakout, which is right there, potential, before you trigger in here?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm. No, what I would push back on is the risk reward, because if your entry's above today's candle high and your target, your T1 is 11.50,
and I went 7 out of 10 on this pattern. I don't need 2 to 1.
You don't need to. All right.
It's all. What about some lunch money on the February 8 naked put back into the trading range?
Yeah, I mean, look, you want some, that margin requirement's going to be low. 30 bucks. They're making you put up 80. Oh, how's a little 35, 40% return for you? I mean, if that gets your juices flowing,
right.
Sure, go sell the 8 put.
I'm bleeding here, Tyler. You're hitting me.
I mean, I love selling gold in gold mining companies back into the range where I can get that massive. Yeah,
Yep.
That's some lunch money right there. That's some
Yeah.
lunch money right there. I like it. Listen, I mean, Cody, listen, before we go to the final round, so we're going to have one more pick for each of you. Before we go to the final round, I just want to remind everyone out there, we are going to have a holiday sell. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day sell on all of our premium system. We are slashing the premium systems at Tackle Trading for the next couple of weeks by 50%. We're also going to put our annual membership by request for another week or so on sale as well. Go to the store tab, Bear Market Survival Guide, Cash Flow Condors, Tackle 25, 50% off for the next little while. New Year's Day, get yours right. Go to the store tab at tackletrading.com. Check out those specials. Check out the annual membership that we're going to have. We are not going to have that on sale again for 6 more months. I promise you that. Will not be on sale again until July 4th. So go check out those sales. And if you're new and you're like, I'm not ready to make a purchase, but I think this stuff's awesome. We do this stuff all the time at Tackle Trading with our pro members. Sign up for a trial. See if this is for you. We got educational models. We got scouting reports. Both of these fine gentlemen write reports every weekend. Come give us a try. Come see what we're all about. All right, final round of Trade Masters now.
Wait. You left out my last joke.
Oh, sorry.
I came home really.
It wasn't apparent enough.
So I came home really drunk last night, and my wife was not happy at all. How much have you had to drink? She asked, staring at me. Nothing, I slurred. Look at me, she shouted. It's either me or the pub. Which one is it? I paused for a second while I thought and mumbled, it's you. I can tell by the voice.
Okay, what I want to know is, okay, we have guys leaving girlfriends over Trump. We got, divorces and not being sad about it. We got, alcoholism. Where's the innocent dad jokes I was expecting, right?
I was told 7 deadly sins all market related, because I got dad jokes just off the top of my head. Like what do you call a fish without an eye? A fish.
All right, final round. Let's do it, Cody. Guess you get final pick.
All right. I actually got a couple more picks. So if anything, we'll just rapid fire, just to throw something out there.
There's one more pick. You got one per pick. We got to wrap up.
All right. DD, Dow DuPont. It is such a pretty, just simple bullish retracement that we're seeing. You know, I just like this setup. I pick your poison on how you want to play it. It's clean. It's there. It's moving. You can play this however you want. Another company with the dividend if you want to go straight stock. It's got low implied volatility if you want to do an options play on it for, you know, a directional long call. I like the simple, clean, bullish retracement textbook. It's triggered already, so where your stop goes, where you target above today's candle high, below the pivot low, simple, easy, clean for some of our newer traders. Any comments on that, guys?
I'm just looking at the weekly chart. 200 weekly is overhead at about 77 or so. That's plenty of room to run up until that. It's in a pocket of clear air. Should close that. I got no problem with that. That's solid. Listen, chemical space, it's been pretty good. If the economy continues towards its reopening path, rotational trade has any legs at all, I like it for a position trade. I think there's juice left in the chemicals, without a doubt. All right, Tyler, final round.
Hey, I got a few more jokes.
Oh, final jokes. Sorry, I keep forgetting the jokes.
And this is a classic for and like we make these jokes all the time. Just on the halftime report is what do you call a trader that breaks the rules and never uses stop losses? They're an investor. And that one I meant to keep back. Like that's a learning lesson. You become an investor in these companies, guys.
Okay.
Okay, Dad.
Now that is a stock market dad joke.
Yeah,
it is.
That's
all right, Tyler. Final up. Listen, final up, my friend. Wield your weapon. End your enemy's life with this pick.
All right, look. As far as bull retracements go, not gonna find much prettier than Etsy. I love the increasing momentum on the prior advance. This thing broke out of 160 and just ripped almost up to 200. Got a little overheated. Small caps needed a breather. They got one this week. This pulls back cleanly to the 20-day moving average. Even gave you a nice narrow-bodied candle to indicate momentum was slowing. Then you get a nice reversal bar today. Took out yesterday's high. Look, if you think momentum continues strong into next year, I think this runs back up to 200. It already triggered, continuation trigger, I guess, over today's high, stop the pivot low.
That's just a classic pullback momentum trade, right? I mean, you know, those aren't usually my style because I don't really trade that, but I mean, I recognize a classic pullback momentum trade when I see it. Clean entry above today's high. Any specific ways to play it? Directionally, spread, option? How would
something that moves this much? I think. I bull call or bull put for me. You want to go more directional, do a 190, 200 bull call. If not, do a Feb bull put. Actually, I take that back. This has earnings between now and Feb. Yeah, this has earnings end of January. So I would do a bull call vertical and get out before earnings.
Very nice. Hey, I got one more. It's a mixture of a stock and a dad joke that I actually can't take credit for because Matt did this offhand.
All right, I got to hear Tyler's joke first. Tyler's joke first.
Okay, Tyler's joke first.
So my landlord texted me saying that we need to meet up and talk about how high my heating bill is. I said, sure, my door's always open.
That's a good joke. That's a dad joke right there.
All right,
that's what I can tell my kids.
Stock mixed with a dad joke that good old Matt Justice made offhand, and it just stuck with me. Look up the chart ED, Echo Delta. You look at this chart, it's bearish, and Matt said ED's looking pretty limp.
ED's looking pretty limp.
What does that mean, Daddy?
You can't tell any of your jokes to your kid.
No.
All right, listen.
I got clean dad jokes for the kids. We're adults here.
Listen, Cody, fine job. I mean, listen, a couple of those I really love. Like, I appreciate the thing. I mean, Jay Goko in particular, just have me written all over it. I appreciate that. I thought those was stellar. Good picks, good solid. But Tyler came strong tonight. Tyler came strong. So I apologize, but you're dead. You're lying on the gladiator arena. You fought valiantly. The crowd was cheering Tyler's name, though, and he took the momentum. Tyler, as the victor,
you got this little number where it's like, is he going down or is he staying up? And Caesar just went.
And this is for you. No, yeah. Well, listen. No, Caesar. Listen, as Caesar, I'll give you a thumbs up. You fought too well. I'm not going to let you die on this the arena floor, so I'll give the thumbs up. Spare his life, Tyler.
Right.
But give us your final thoughts tonight, Tyler, before we close off shop as the winner of tonight's Trade Masters competition.
I'm so good. Look, this should just be the Tyler show every Wednesday. I don't even know why they bring anybody else out. I got to be honest. So come back next week if you want some more picks, and we'll see what kind of riffraff they bring to for me to chop to pieces, I guess.
Well said. Listen, loved it. Check out our specials, pro members. Check out the specials on those things. If you're new, once again, give us a thumb up, give us a like, subscribe to our channel. We love doing this for you. We'll be back with another episode of Trade Masters next week, and tomorrow's New Year's Eve. We'll be back since the market's trading all day long on New Year's Eve. We'll be back with halftime report here on YouTube.
Hey, real quick, can I get 2 rapid fires before we wrap up? Just 2 rapid fires. BX.
You are dead.
I'm dead, but these aren't even for me living. This is just out there for the students. BX, like the move, like the break, above 66, easy trigger. And the other one is PEGA. My favorite pattern, breakout, retracement.
Okay.
Love these picks. So I just want to throw those out there for the students in the community.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, excellent job, both of you. We appreciate your time. I know the viewers appreciate your time. And thank you, everybody, for being part of Tackle Trading Community. We love you. And if we don't see you tomorrow, have a happy new year. Have a safe new year. And set those goals. We're going to have a great 2000.